We're live.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the world's greatest comic book channel with the world's greatest comic book shows for the world's greatest comic book people trying to win the world's greatest monthly giveaway. We're doing Crimson Tide. Phil's got the chair. Be back in 30 seconds.
I like that cigar. It's good, sir. It's your first. Yeah. Don't like it too much. They're more expensive than drugs. Texo, take her down. Take her down, aye, sir.
Brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone a superhuman who can come and save my life. Crisis after crisis.
What is good, everybody? It is Film and Box Office News with the Council of Comics, episode 139. Like Sam said, we're doing Crimson Tide today.
Yeah,
The movie, yeah. Oh, yeah. This was a blast to watch. So, yeah, we're doing Crimson Tide today. We got the monthly giveaway coming out tomorrow. We're giving out all those comic books tomorrow night on New Keys and Hot Comics of the Week. But, Sam, if you could bring up our first hashtag for that. Oh, are you muted? Sam is muted.
Come on, Vossler.
Okay.
I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry, Captain. I'm already messing up, Captain. Oh, no. Don't yell at me, XO. All right. First hashtag is, speaking of it, it is Captain or XO. Captain or XO.
That's kind of like that breaks down the movie right there.
That breaks down the movie. What side are you on?
Yeah.
You know?
So, Captain or XO.
Yeah.
So, how you guys doing this Sunday?
I'm doing all right. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Tired? We're good? All right.
Doing good. Just came back from Stormville.
No, that's
flea market.
right. This weekend, right?
It's a little bit cold out there. Like
It is, right?
doing 60 degrees and
Well, it's
end of
60,
May.
but it feels like 53. Is what my
Yeah,
guess.
because it's an open space and the wind is just like,
And it's overcast, so you don't even get the sun.
yeah. I mean, it was okay. So it has, I like it, but it just has, as far as what, as a comic book person going to look for comic books, it's losing every year more and more comic book vendors. So
Well, as an outdoor venue, it kind of that hurts it a little bit anyway.
yeah, but it's still
Because you don't want to
declining.
be leaving. If you're a serious vendor and care about your books, you don't want to leave them out in the elements.
Yeah, but just the overall, like there used to be at least 20 guys that could go there. Then the next year was like 15, which is still a lot. Last year was kind of like 12. This year's kind of like 8 spots. And I'm like, that was like the gold treasure place right there, flea market. But yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah, I came back from Connecticut, and this is one of like the coldest Memorial Day weekends we've had up here. So, yeah, I spent the weekend at Connecticut and Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods and stuff like that.
Nice.
I mentored referees for the last 2 days.
Okay.
I don't.
Oh, you were teaching them?
What's that?
You were teaching them?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I could still do some of these tournaments, but to me, it's like, why would I? Because I'll save my legs for bigger, important games. Plus, they can get out and learn more. So I'm actually the head of the mentoring program in the area, so I schedule all the people to go, and then I go as well. And You watch a game, halftime, you tell them, hey, work on this, and then at the end of the game, you work on this, and they cycle through. So you get different people every hour, and then you might see them twice over the course of the day. You watch them progress, so it's fun. And I get
and you had to go through this at one point, right?
Not as much as we do now, which is probably a good thing because now we're doing more. But yeah, at one point I did have people telling me, "Oh, you're screwing this up" and that kind of thing. I think I'm nicer than they were, but
okay.
So,
wow, very nice. So it's filling box office news, and I'm going to keep it since I'm in the captain chair, pretty much like kind of the same way in the same order. So let's see what went on with the box office.
So if you're in the captain's chair, what does that make me? Am I Weps?
Yeah.
Well, Phil, this weekend's box office is an explosive one, coming in 3 times more than the previous weekend. The previous weekend came in at 101 million. This weekend, a whopping $325 million.
Yeah, but we know
the domestic box office. Of course, we know why, Green Shirt Guy, and I'm gonna show you why right here. Because at number 1 is Lilo and Stitch from Disney with a whopping $183 million. How much overall?
That's not really what I was gonna say, but
Woo!
I mean that's a huge number. I'm not putting that down. What I'm saying is it's Memorial Day weekend. It's always a big weekend for the box office.
Yeah.
But this is
Lilo and Stitch worldwide pulling in $341 million. We don't need to read this segment up here. We know it. We've seen this movie before. You're just gonna watch it again in live action. Is what you're gonna do.
Not me.
Live action Stitch. Hold on. Honestly, I've heard it's like their best remake of these so far. And I feel like
what's that line from Pulp Fiction? It might taste like pumpkin pie, but I'll never know because I'm not going to eat it.
Coming in at number 2, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, the final installment, or so they say, of the Mission Impossible series with Tom Cruise. 77 million with a worldwide of 204 million. 204 million. Not bad, considering the last one was...
I'm so behind on the Mission Impossible movie.
The last one didn't do so great. But I still think people thought it was a great movie, but it just didn't do great.
Well, it came out at a weird time. And I think when they found out it was part 1 of 2, they're like, well, I'll just wait.
I'll wait. Yeah, you're right. But part 2 is here, and it's coming in number 2. Final Destination Bloodlines pulling in 24 million. They're at 187 total, so that's pretty good for them. That's pretty good. Thunderbolts, 11 million. Total of 355. Will it hit 4?
I think it'll get to 400, but I don't think it's going to go over 400.
Like you think that's 55 or like 45 more million in it?
Yeah, I think so. I think like when I say 400, I'm like 398, 395. So I'm being kind and rounding it. But
I think it's the second movie at all the drive-ins right now because Disney likes to show like their movies together.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of like maybe a boost with that now that like and even our drive-in here, it's opened up again, and that's your second movie.
I think why this movie's hurt is look at the international number.
Mm-hmm.
That should easily be 400 by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Why it's not, I couldn't tell you, but that's where a lot of these movies, these $1 billion movies, make twice, if not 3 times as much internationally, and it nothing internationally.
Well, it's showing the decline, right? Because Captain America, which is not as good as this movie in my eyes, made 400 million.
Altogether or
It
international?
makes it a little more, like 425 or something like that.
Well, what did it make in the international? That's my question.
Yeah, keep going. I'll look that up.
Well,
Well, it's probably, but
so yeah, let me just click this back here. It's been steadily declining,
right.
the box office. So the next one up is Fantastic Four. Is Fantastic Four going to be
Worldwide,
harmed by this?
New World Order made 415 million.
415.
Well, altogether or just
That's the worldwide.
what I'm saying.
Internationally, it
How much did
made
it
214 international
okay?
and 200 domestic.
So if
Yeah,
this
so
makes
basically the
214
same.
if this makes 214, it'll go over 400.
Will it though?
Yeah, because you got to figure if it makes another 30 whatever 33 to go to 214, it should make another like 4 or 5 here.
It's a tough one. We shall see. Sinners still rocking out. They're at 339. Big domestic, small international. International. They're
not saying
not
nothing.
vampire fan, huh?
I'm not saying nothing.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'll off camera. I'll tell you why.
Oh,
Why I think it is.
I think it's it might not be playing in
Because I'm
might
gonna
not-
piss off a lot of people if I tell you on camera why.
is it
I
playing
don't
like,
agree with it. I just tell you what I think.
we appreciate the filter, green shirt guy. We appreciate the filter.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not, I could very well could be wrong. Again,
Yeah.
I don't agree with what my thought is, but
I think I know what you're saying, and possibly, but then there are other movies that would say no to that
maybe,
thought.
but
you know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah. All right, so like 339. The Last Rodeo? Who's this? Oh, of course.
Who's in it?
The guy, what's his name?
Oh, I
Yeah.
think it's the. I think I know what this one. Yeah,
It's like, isn't this like an Angel Studio movie?
probably.
I think so. Yeah, it is. I see it down there. It's Angel Studios.
Okay.
Yeah. What we got? Friendship, Minecraft, 940.
I don't see it having that 60 million it needs to crack into that billion market.
Maybe if they re-release it again in the summer or late, with
Or
a
they
big
do
marketing
some
push.
kind of like.
4 extra minutes of chicken jockey.
Or they do, like,
Yeah.
sometimes they like those Disney movies. They'll do the sing-along version. If they do something like that, where it's like an interactive version.
So,
All right, well, that's a short one.
You
yeah.
ever see Vulcan as Adora?
Vulcan
Vulcan
Isadora.
Isadora.
That's one hell of a name. Tell you that.
It made $288. Average.
Hey,
That's
it
got to
pays.
be a local theaters that's in though, right?
Yeah, it's only in 4 theaters.
That's what I'm saying. Wherever that came out, but I mean, it made 18 grand altogether though. That's good for them.
Yeah. All right, and that's your box office for this Memorial weekend. Back to you, Phil.
All right. Well, I will. Let's draw a duck.
All
Let's
right,
draw our first duck.
You want a duck? You got a duck. Let's go here. All right, Captain or XO. 15 seconds on the clock. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Wait a minute. I must be in the wrong thing because that says no entries.
Yeah, that says no entry.
Let me see what I did wrong. Let me see what I did wrong, man. Film and box office news. Captain or XL. There we go. All right, 15 seconds. I'll give you another 15 seconds. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and draw. Round and round it goes. Where it lands, no one on the council knows, ladies and gentlemen. But if it does land on you, you'll get a ticket to the really big show. Heroes for Hire Comic Club. You're in there like swimwear. Next hashtag will be Kirby Silver Surfer. Kirby Silver Surfer.
Anyone who reads comics knows that the Kirby Silver Surfer was the best.
Indeed.
It's the only Silver Surfer.
It's the only Silver Surfer.
Well, I love Ron Lim, though.
Yeah.
I love a Ron Lim Silver Surfer. All right, Phil.
All right, so let me just share some stuff. We'll share the entire screen, that one, and we'll share some stuff and talk about some stuff. Oh, I gotta remove this one. And there we go. Tonight, 9:00 is the season finale of Last of Us. What have you got?
Go ahead.
Guys,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what have you thought about the season so far?
The last episode was the best.
I think
Was
it's
the
the
best
last episode, the best episode of the entire series.
Okay, really, like the flashback episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Not as far as like action, but as far as like story and emotion.
Yeah.
That was pretty powerful, that last episode.
The guy playing Joel's father could not have been more perfectly cast.
Oh, he's in.
I'm like, of course that's him.
You know, he's in whatchamacallit, Better Call Saul.
Yes.
And he's also, I think he's in the like the Hawkeye show and stuff. He's playing.
Yeah, he's the swordsman.
He's the swordsman.
Yes.
That's right.
Swordsman,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought I saw him somewhere.
Yeah.
Black
And that
Spider
part,
does not
that
expect
part
much.
wasn't in the game. Like him and like you know that whole beginning, that was not in the game.
I just love that because I love the repeat later in the episode when Joel says to her, I know I'm not perfect, but I hope I'm better than my father, and then you're going to be better than me. And that legacy of that continuing was like that. I mean, that did it for me.
Yeah.
Let me see what else. They went to the museum, right? They went to like the space museum. So yeah, that
You
was.
did get me a dinosaur.
Yeah. And you could crawl. Yeah, she crawls up to the top of it. He's like, she's like, "There's a museum." He's like, "I'll take you there if you don't break your leg falling off."
Right.
What was? I guess the powerful part for me was the fact that they reconciled with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we didn't know that
Right.
in that episode before.
Right.
You kind of get a hint of it because she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go on patrol with Joel." You know, remember she's like, he's him, I'm me. We'll figure it out." But we didn't know that already. They had, come to that place.
Yeah,
So
that was a little bit like, they do reconcile like that in the game, even at that spot. But she also, like I said, like she ran away one time and went to like Salt Lake City and saw like the damage and all the bodies and stuff. That was like the difference. But she just had like the notes there of like, all right, if this happened, then what about this and this and this?
Yes.
So wait, in the game, she goes back to Salt Lake, and that's how she finds out about the Joel thing?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they do that?
I don't know.
Because they want to get to the battle of the two factions in Seattle.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I guess, but you're only getting 3 seasons out of this, so
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know. Tonight it's going to be the beginning of that war, and then next season is going to be you're going to see the repercussions of whatever happens tonight.
I think, like I said, I think we're going to see maybe. I'm hoping we get to see like 2 of my favorite characters, were like Liv and Yara, who were scars. They're Seraphites, and they end up like traveling with Abby, especially like the one kid ends up being like traveling with Abby, and she kind of becomes like the Joel kind of character of like going through the stuff.
Hmm.
So like yeah, the Abby section of Last of Us 2 was almost like I think it was better than the Ellie stuff. So and
Really?
that's probably what a lot of like the third season of this show is gonna be.
Well, so is your prediction that Abby makes it through tonight?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I predict Abby's gonna make it through tonight.
I'm just kind of annoyed on a slight. I mean, just because of what acting reasons that we've seen so little of Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's gonna do more at some point, but like
He's playing the same character he played in the game, which is really
Okay.
cool.
I just love the scene. I think it was episode 3, where he gets out. He's pretending to be one of the SWAT guys,
Yeah.
and he turns around, throws a grenade, and then closes the door. I was like, yikes!
Crazy.
So, yeah. Anybody else watching any shows? Like this is kind of like the only show really
What am
I'm
I
watching
watching?
at the moment.
Yeah, there's
Watch
nothing
something
really
this
else.
weekend.
I'm watching Chosen, but that's been out.
Okay.
I'm like on season 4 right now. It's a phenomenal series. Phenomenal. I tell you, phenomenal. It's my Bible Game of Thrones.
Right on.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? And it's just so good, so good.
I started
Um,
watching something on Netflix. I just can't remember what it is off the top of my head right now. And it's probably something everybody's watched years ago, but now I finally got to it type thing. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah,
I tell you what, I want to watch those. Mickey 17 is now on HBO Max.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it got released,
Yeah.
I think, on Friday, so I might watch that tonight.
The only other like the last movie I watched on Max was Y2K, which was
Is
just
that
like
good? I think that's in my queue.
it's like a stupider comedy. So it was like I watched it last week. It was a little bit of like a palate cleanser. So
That's got Snow White in it, right?
yup, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and it also has like the Hawaiian kid from whatchamacallit, Stranger Things. If you watch,
Oh, okay.
so.
Okay.
hmm.
So the only other like the big news we got this week, and we're gonna talk about this too, is because we didn't talk about it last week, is we had like a conversation before we went live last week. Is Hollywood failing us? And my thought was, because I thought about it a second, and then the answer is like, for me, the answer is no. And since we had that, like that little clock that we were gonna go live. The Avengers got delayed, and Doomsday and Secret Wars both got pushed to December of 2026 and 2027.
I'm okay with it.
I'm
okay with it. I'll tell you why I'm okay with it.
okay.
Spider-Man is still staying at its same date. Which
Okay.
means now the awkwardness of it coming in between the Avengers movies is out of the way. So now Spider-Man is going to lead into Doomsday. It won't be Fantastic Four that leads into Doomsday. It'll be Spider-Man. So you'll probably see some craziness at the end where Doom shows up like, hey, Peter. You know what I mean?
Unless there's a show in between.
Something like that. But
Yeah, I don't know if there's any like shows coming up or.
And let them take their time. Take as much time as you need.
Agreed.
Please. Take as much time as you need. Like you can't mess these up. You cannot.
Some thoughts of it was like Spider-Man went to $1 billion movie when it released in that last Spider-Man. The
$2 billion.
Yeah, and it released in December, and that was one of the, I think that I think more than anything else might be one of the reasons they're looking at that December release. Is there's a lot of competition in the summer.
Going against one of the Avatars, though, I think in one of those years, right? Or does Avatar come out this year?
I'm not sure. There's a few things, and since
let me see,
I don't know what nothing's really else has been announced delayed because of this, but I have a feeling that this will change some release dates.
Oh, Avatar 3 comes out this year.
Okay.
December 19th. So, that's fine. I won't go against that. That's the only thing I see it having a problem with.
Yeah.
The Avatar. Nothing else will stop it.
I think, I think the delay though, it might be good for Marvel, like because we're gonna have another big space of no superhero Marvel movie from like Fantastic Four to Spider-Man.
Yeah. So that's like
Oh,
that's July to July. That'll be a
yeah,
whole year without
it'll be a
Marvel.
whole
Can you
year.
imagine a day where we're like, oh my god, a whole year?
I'm okay with that though because I think that I think that helped Deadpool a little bit is that there was that
Yeah.
big gap in between like movies instead of getting like 4 of these a year.
Yeah.
Like
3
3
to
or
4
4
is
of
a
these.
bit much. Three is
I'm
pushing
okay with
it.
1 a quarter if they're done well. That doesn't bother me.
I don't know. I think that's like, do you guys go to the movies a lot?
Not anymore. Like
You know, like I don't think people are going to the movies as much anymore.
I
go for
definitely
these.
don't.
For the big ones, they are. But
Yeah, that's really it. Like the big ones, like
Well,
it is-
anything like this where I'm going to potentially get it spoiled by walking into the shop, I go see.
yeah,
You know?
okay.
and
Like
the
Mission
technology.
Impossible, I'm not worried about, but I do want to go see it.
The technology at home is so much better that you would want to wait for those other movies. Like, you know, if I just wait, I can watch it at home on my big screen TV. The ones you want to go see are like Avengers, Avatar, Star Wars. You want to go see those. So I think Hollywood's going to have to
Yeah,
make
Well,
a shift.
the ones that you're waiting for, with some exceptions, obviously, are generally not the big tentpole spending $200 million on.
That is a little bit truth. There's a lot of movies like when I looked at like the upcoming movie list, things like I'm excited for things like Megan 2.0 is coming out this year, and
Really?
there's a new Conjuring movie. There's a few other things, and I was like, these aren't even like comic book movies that I'm like happy I'm getting.
Right. But
So-
they're not spending as much money to make those movies. So the fact that you'd wait to watch it at home, yeah, they're losing money, but they're not losing hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And if they make half of their budget back, I think they're fine because they know that they'll make it back, at the home box office, if you will.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
but
yeah.
they want that $2 billion money.
Oh, absolutely.
And they'll get it. If the movie's great, they'll get it. You know what I mean? They'll get it. Smart move. Very smart.
I mean, when was the last time there was a summer comedy movie that made a ton of money? Name one. I mean, I can think of the
Summer
American Pie movies that all made a bunch of money, and there's probably stuff since then that I'm just forgetting. But like, think
It's
about
been
it.
a while.
since those.
It's been a while.
Like
since a
like
blockbuster.
Hangover was probably
Right, Hangover was big. You're right,
Hangover was
Yeah.
pretty big.
but it's not. It's uncommon at this point. And those ones they
Yeah.
spend like
Yeah,
7-8 million, and they're good. And
Yeah.
and
but they could
not
make-
that it's really a summer, but Minecraft. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
although that's like one of the things too is they've been pushing like summer back. It seems like too for like these Hollywood releases are always like they want to battle for like this May spot. And there's just so many movies you
Yeah.
could see in like Memorial Day weekend. There's just so many.
Well, it's wild to me too because this weekend's always been a big weekend, but July 4th week was always like it was almost like the Black Friday for the movie industry. They would put out whatever their big one was and make bank. I mean, that's how Will Smith's career got off. How many movies was he in that came out during the July 4th week that made all kinds of money? Independence Day, Men in Black. I mean, you can probably most of his movies, but that's not a weekend that they focus on.
No, they want that. Like, yeah, like there hasn't been a later like Marvel release in the summer. Like, yeah, Deadpool was the last
Right.
one, but other than that, they've all been like April and May release dates.
Right.
It's like they want their money like so quick that they kind of
They're learning the lesson now.
yeah.
You're learning.
Yeah, like maybe like yeah, Thunderbolts might be a lesson. Like that. I wonder if that
Because
had something to
The
do with
majority
it.
of people like Thunderbolts, but yet it's still only at 355.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they'll learn.
And yeah, usually by like the end of July, there's nothing again. Like the summer becomes like quiet again, and it's because like everybody's kind of like throwing their big release out. Like, but I think that helped Barbie a lot. Was that like Barbie came out at the end of July, and you had nothing really to like go see for the whole month of August.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
I think some of there's. I'll give you part of that. But
That
also
along with
nothing was out because it was right
the
after
fandom behind it, you know what I mean? There's nothing, like Phil said, there's nothing to stop it, and there's so much energy being pushed behind it through the fandom and the marketing and all that. It's just
right. But
Yeah.
there was nothing to compete against it because all the studios were either coming back from the strike or COVID, so there was nothing for them to really put out. And Barbie, I almost think Paramount held Barbie back so they could release it. They're like, well, we'll wait.
it got competition from Oppenheimer.
Right.
Yeah.
But people were seeing both, which was also a Paramount movie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
Or Universal. I think they're both Universal.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I think it is Universal.
Yeah.
And Oppenheimer's great. I'm debating picking my actor so we can watch Oppenheimer, but I haven't decided yet.
So what do you guys think though? Is Hollywood failing us? I don't really think it is.
I think it's failing us in the sense that it's not trying to put out the best product like it used to. It's taking a seat back on like making the best movie it can make. I think.
Yeah. I
You know
think
what I mean?
they're trying to. I think that
I
Hollywood.
think a little bit, like you kind because like when you say it like that, you have a point. There's been a lot of movies that I've seen that I've been like about that I should have been coming out. Like that movie was great, like Indiana Jones and even a couple of these comic book movies.
Indiana Jones, perfect example, right?
Yeah,
You want that to be one of the best movies you could make.
Yeah,
you want that to be because it's Indiana Jones.
And you wouldn't want to come out of it like, it was okay.
Yeah, you didn't put your best foot forward, and that's what you get.
I think that's because it would. Well, I mean, this is just my opinion. Is that the bean counters in the office are making all the decisions now instead of leaving it to the creatives?
Yeah, like I'll
So
bring back
how many original movies come out anymore? It's a lot of rehashes, remakes, or ninth sequels.
I bring it back to Indiana Jones. What was the one thing everybody wanted to see in the last Indiana Jones? We wanted to see Short Round come back.
Short Round. He just won the Oscar.
What was the last one? Which one was the last one?
Time, Destiny.
Oh, the wheel where
Dial of Destiny.
Or whatever.
Dial of Destiny. But can you imagine Short Round coming back? And we already seen that he'd be great in in the shows that we see in the movies we've seen.
Yeah.
And to see them interact off each other now that they're like so much older, you mean to tell me you didn't sit down at the table and say, "This is a great idea. Why aren't we trying to make this happen?"
You could think about all the old jokes that Short Round could make.
Yeah,
and then Indiana Jones was going to look at him like, "You're not young either."
Yeah, it writes itself. I mean, you could have even kept the same storyline. Yeah. And imagine it's Short Round telling him, "No, Indy, you have to come back with us. You have to come back."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would have been even more powerful. But I digress.
Yeah.
And how funny would it be, too, to bring back the line where somebody just calls him Indy? He's like, "No, you call him Dr. Jones."
So, yeah, you know what I mean? Come on.
Little things you can do.
Like, what are we doing here? Oh,
yeah, there has been like a lot of, and those are like those big heavy hitter movies, and that like, Indiana Jones shouldn't have been mediocre. And there's other things that have been better, like Godzilla and Kong was a lot better than what I thought I was gonna get.
But Godzilla -1 kicked its ass.
Godzilla -1 was just amazing. Yeah.
And that's a fully original. Whereas Godzilla Kong is now another sequel. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, Joseph Michael says, because nobody wants to remember Temple of Doom. I love Temple of Doom.
I don't.
I
You
thought
guys,
it
don't
was
like, you
good.
guys don't like Temple of Doom? I love Temple of Doom.
I don't dislike Temple of Doom. The plot is not super intricate though.
Fortune and glory.
You
Aggressively relaxed. It says, I would argue we have highs creativity wise right now. See Wicked, Mission Impossible, Star Wars, Marvel, Tapestry, storytelling. The overall number of films making it to theaters are high.
that's true.
There
That's
are
true.
like there is like there are a few examples. Wicked being one of them, where Wicked was amazing, and I was like very happy with that walking out of that theater.
Wait, it's Universal Studios? Look, guys, it's Universal Studios. Delaying this movie 6 months is a great idea. Oh, thanks, Universal Studios. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I think it'll help it. I think it'll help with the like the fatigue and everything.
Joey Masters is here. Hollywood fails creators and artists, which in turn fail us.
See, Joey's with me.
Well said,
right.
Joey Masters. Well said. Quantity,
Like I said, I think
quality,
the studio bosses are
films.
just want to do what's safe at this point to make money and not worried about what's creative and fun.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's try another duck.
Yes, sir. And Kerber Silver Surfy. Kerber Silver Surfer. What did I say? Silver Surfy?
Yeah.
Kirby Silver Surf. At least I catch myself, ladies and gentlemen. At least I know. What the hell did you just say?
Not a Silver Surfer, you said Kerber's too.
Kirby Silver Surfer, ladies and gentlemen. Put that in the comment section. You have 15 seconds. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and draw. Who's it gonna be? Oh, yeah. And it's Ryan Riley. Congratulations, Ryan. You are entered into tomorrow's giveaway. Make sure you tune in. Next hashtag, Bossler, which I guess is gonna lead us into that movie. But
Which will lead us right into our homework.
We do some. You want me to do the announcements first?
Yeah, let's do the announcements first.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are part of this Sunday amazing lineup. This morning was 9:30 was the Hangover Show, Sunday comic book. At 10:45 was Comic Book Church
With Kerber?
with Kerber. 5 p.m. as you're watching right now, Film and Box Office News with the Council of Comics. 5:30 is the Merry Monday Mail Call Show. All filler, no killer. At 6 p.m. is Heroes for Hire Comic Club, a duck winner tonight. Their Super Show Extravaganza at 6 p.m. 7 p.m. is Kicking It with K-Pop Tatsumi. 8:30 we have At Week's End, the Mission Impossible Special. And then at 9 p.m. we have Black Crowd Comics Weekly Comic Wrap-Up, episode number 92. Make sure you tune into all that. Young at Heart Foundation is a great organization run by our good friend Mike out in California. They do great things for kids awaiting medical procedures out there. 2 ways you can help. Go to youngatheartfoundation.com, click this register to become a donor button for Donate at Life America, because more than 100,000 people are waiting for a life-saving transplant. You can help by registering as an organ donor today. Second way to help is to sponsor a Hope Kick that's 100% tax deductible. They take all the funds together, create these great gift boxes, and give them to the kids. We will have another way you want to help Mike. Give him a call at 323-396-9998 or email him at info@youngatheartfoundation.com. Tell him the council sent you. And last but not least, Alternatives. This is our home away from home. It's owned by our good friend Anthony. It's located in Hyde Park, New York, 870 Violet Avenue, Hyde Park, New York. And has a great special for you guys out there that are having trouble getting your comic books every week. No shop around, driving too far to get to a shop. just a problem. Anthony will solve that. He'll get your pull list, bag and board, all your books at no extra cost. Then he'll take 10% off that entire order and ship it out to you. That's something that you want to do. Give him a call at 845-233-4234 or email him at alterniverse2@aol.com. And the website is alterniverse.net. They have comics, cards, and toys, and they have card tournaments every weekend. Lorcana, Pokemon, Magic, many others. If you're in the area, give Anthony a call, and he will give you all of the info. And of course, my last one is, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel right now. We recently just hit the 4,000 watch hours. We're fully monetized. So moving forward, it'd be a great thing if you hit that like button. Make sure that you're subscribed. Just hit a whole bunch of like buttons and watch a few of our videos, and that would help us out tremendously. Clifford is not here today, but make sure you go to Cliff on Comics and subscribe to his channel as well. And C Bizzle is not here today, but make sure you go and check out Couching and Slouching with C Bizzle and subscribe to his channel as well. They are part of the council.
Did the nominations close yet, by the way?
They didn't even start yet.
No, I thought it started.
No, it starts June.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I'm good. And that's my announcements there, Phil.
All right. Let's we can talk about our homework this week. Was Crimson Tide. I did it on this version. One of the reasons I chose this movie was because I had the Laserdisc and I had not watched it yet. And it has a beautiful AC3 track on it. This is like a $5 movie all day on Laserdisc. So the soundtrack though, it's not a rare movie at all. But definitely like one worth picking up, because I don't know, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Directed by Tony Scott. On a U.S. nuclear missile sub, a young first officer stages a mutiny to prevent his trigger-happy captain from launching his missiles before confirming his orders to do so. Starring Gene Hackman, Denzel Washington, and Matt Craven.
Aragon is in this movie as well.
There's a lot of people in this movie, like Gene Hackman, Denzel Washington.
Gandolfini.
Isn't that The Soprano?
Yeah,
that's Tony.
Yep, Aragorn, Viggo
Ricky
Mortensen.
Schroeder is in. He was only in that scene, right?
No, he saw remember the scene where they're getting ready to get on the boat and he gives a speech while he's up on the platform.
Yeah,
panning by, you see him there too.
Really?
And he's an officer, so you see him in the officer's dinner too.
So I must have missed that, because when I saw him, I was like, "Oh, Ricky Schroeder with the greatest cameo ever in a movie."
If any of you guys know who Jason Robards is,
yes,
he's another uncredited cameo in this movie at the very end.
Well, Steve Zahn.
Yeah.
5 seconds. Ryan Phillippe's in it.
Okay.
Ryan Phillippe, yeah.
There was somebody else that was another like just crewman. You're like, oh, okay. The guy that Vossler beats up was in the second Major League movie. He was the catcher that couldn't throw to second base, and he's been in a few other things too. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of people in this movie. The other black officer's been in a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff too.
Rocky Carroll, is that him?
Yeah,
there?
He's been in a bunch of stuff. I just can't remember what.
What's the other guy? Is it Vossler, the one fixing the radio? Who's fixing the radio?
Vossler fixed the radio.
Yeah. What's his name again?
Lilia.
Yeah, it's him right there.
Lilio Brancato.
It was good to see him.
And actually, remember the guy he gives the keys to?
Yes,
he was a big actor back then. I don't think I've seen him in 10 years, but he was big back then.
Yeah. It's always great to see, like, that's another fun part about watching old movies. You'll get to see, you have a more feel for it when you see these actors that you've already have an appreciation for. Because when this came out, you barely knew these people, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, this and that.
Yeah,
and
you
like,
didn't really know Viggo
that's Tony
Mortensen.
Soprano right there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, really, Gene Hackman and Denzel were only like the two big names at the time.
Yeah. Well, Robards is right at the end,
Yeah, Robards is right at the end.
They make you. I like the way they set it up. where you actually really where they explain everything in the beginning. It gives you the tension of okay, there really is something going on. Like they explain it very well. Boom, boom, boom. That Russia's having like a civil war, and the United States is just trying to like protect the United States or whatever.
Well, and France.
And France. But the movie like that, it's just a battle of ideas, is what it is. Because at the end of the movie, they say what? You're both wrong.
Well,
and you're both right.
Well,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, I'm slightly biased because I'm rooting for Denzel Washington in this one, and I think I actually like Gene Hackman as an actor better. But because I'm watching, going, well, I don't think that's right. So I looked stuff up while I was watching the movie. I'm like, well, that doesn't follow Navy protocol. That doesn't follow Navy protocol. That doesn't follow Navy protocol.
I was I thought like
right and they're both wrong, but in real life, Gene Hackman's actually.
You know what part like did it for me with Gene Hackman is where like Vigo and he wants Vigo to unlock the safe.
Yes.
And then he puts the gun to the other guy's head. Yeah. And that was like, that was
crazy.
And at the end of the movie where like, they're kind of almost in like a court martial situation and Denzel is like, yeah, I might disagree with it. I was like, well, I would disagree with that part of it. Like,
well, I just love that was the bridge too far for Viggo Mortensen's character. All this stuff happens beforehand, but if you shoot one of my guys in front of me, that's not cool.
Yeah.
And why exactly do you have guns in a submarine? I know they probably do, but no good comes from a bullet bouncing around a submarine.
Bouncing around a nuclear submarine. Right. Like, yeah. So, like, I imagine they do, but they're locked away. Like, they are locked. Right. Like a double, one of those double lock things.
I mean,
how about? So this is one of the green shirt guy moments for me. And I love Cobb's character, but he is way too fat to be an officer in the Navy. Not going to happen. They would never let him get that big. And
the one that died, you talking about?
No. The officer of the boat that agrees with Denzel initially, he's like, I didn't agree with the way he was. I don't like you, but what the captain did was wrong. That's why I sided.
Yeah.
There's no way they let him get that big. There's no chance.
And the guy that fought the fire too.
He's too big. Remember, they're on the bus. The black dude's too big. Is he gonna fit in the sub? And then the cook is like 300 pounds. They say he's 300 pounds. But then this other guy, Cobb, is like twice as big as him. No chance. It's a military. There's no chance that happens.
Do you think he is right for doing the drill in that
doing
moment?
The drill like right after that guy died?
I actually do.
Well, he didn't know that guy was dead. When he
died after.
He died after, yeah.
I think so, because it's a true leader in that sense is going to use a situation like that to get everybody to realize. His point was, you never know what's going to happen. Chaos happens all the time.
I agree with
Let's
that.
use this in a non-actual threatening situation,
Yeah.
Although he would have been wrong if the fire flared back up.
Yeah, he gave the killer line. He's like, it wasn't the drill that killed him.
Right.
It's the 300 pounds that killed him.
300 pounds that killed him.
Like, wow. Yeah. What was another? So, do you guys agree? Okay, so I guess the protocol was, and I'm so confused. Do they have a box of these tickets that they break?
Yes.
Like, did anybody look up what goes on with that? Like, how does that work?
I don't know that what we see in the movie is 100% what the step by step, but they definitely have an authentication, and multiple people have to do it so that one person can't. Plus, the reason he wants Denzel's key is because he has to turn 2 keys.
Yeah.
So he's going to get. That's the other thing. If the keys are far enough apart that one person can't turn both of them, so he would have got somebody else to turn it for him. That's why he was trying to get rid of him initially when he was starting. Yeah. He's like, I'll get somebody over here. I'll put my own XO in who will do what I say.
And the captain's coming from a point of view like World War III is about to pop off.
Well, but Denzel's going. You don't.
We have
know
to follow
that.
protocol. Yeah, he said we
Well,
have
not
to
only
follow
do we have to follow
protocol.
protocol. You don't know that because we have this snippet of a message
Yeah.
that could be saying anything.
Yeah, I
And-
agree.
I guess like the protocol is when you have like you go by the last message.
Correct.
So and like there, that's where they're both coming from. Like
Wait, was the last message to launch? The last message
Yes.
was to launch.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so that makes it even deeper. You got to go off of the last message.
And
yeah.
You know what I
philosophically-
mean?
I mean, philosophically, they're both at different ends of the spectrum anyway. Because remember the officers' dinner. Hackman's like, "No, we'll bomb them 3 times over." And what do you think the greatest evil is, or the greatest threat is? And Denzel Washington, I gotta move because I gotta plug this in. Sorry. Denzel Washington's point was, he goes, "War is the greatest problem. If we go to war, we're all screwed because nuclear war, we're all dead.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to pause and not just jump to this."
And like Gene Hackman has that like that old army view.
Yes.
That's one of the things. It's like Gene Hackman has that old army view, and Denzel Washington is representing like that hope, that younger army. The
100%.
It's just wild. The whole they lock him up, and then
Which they would.
and then
You
the
know.
guy that's loyal to the captain, like breaking him out. You know what I mean? I guess
Well-
it's at the point of the guards at his door.
Well, and
You're
those
not
two
supposed to let
guys-
anybody in.
Those
So
two guys would get in so much trouble.
yeah,
So
yeah.
much
So when
trouble.
you go back and review everything, who's getting in trouble? Like, is everybody getting in trouble because you
Well,
all
so
did something
That-
you weren't
so
supposed to do?
Before that, remember they're having the discussion on the bridge, and he curses at Denzel Washington like a few times, basically tells him shut the F up and a few other things.
Yeah.
It's against Navy protocol for officers to curse at each other. So
Oh,
much so that
so he was
depending on
already there.
severity, you could get discharged for that.
Mm,
That alone.
mm. That was probably Hackman. Like, I gotta throw an F-bomb in here.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
but sir, Navy does not do that. But screw the Navy. We're making a movie here.
100%. Well, and so how we were talking about the authentication thing before, and they're like Echo, Bravo, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
How about when they authenticate that they're going to shoot missiles 1 through 5 and 20 through 24, and he's like SBLN. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You went Echo, Bravo for all this other stuff, but this one, you didn't do it? Like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a second.
And then it's like a triple. Okay, so they put the captain in the hole. Captain
Yeah.
breaks out.
Right.
They put what's his face in, but then
And all
he
the
gets
guys who were with them.
he gets a team, and then he goes back again. Like, this is all happening on a submarine.
This is
Right.
it was like how was it? My dad explained because I originally watched this with my father, like, and my dad was like, this is like mutiny and the counter mutiny and then counter mutiny.
Well-
yeah.
It's only so it's not mutiny initially. When Denzel
Then-
does what he's doing, he's following Navy protocol and does by the letter of the law, sends him, imprisons, if you will, the captain. When the captain breaks out, that's fully mutiny.
That's full of
Fully
mutiny.
mutiny. So then when he goes back, they're both mutinying after that. But initially, that's all right. What he did was actually following the letter of the law.
So yeah, and then he breaks out and he's still like gung ho. Let's fire these missiles. We got the order.
Yes.
And that's the other thing is there's also like a Russian sub down there, like straight up attacking them during all of this,
Which is great.
to like add to like the tension. They're getting like torpedoes fired at them, so it like fries the radio.
I guess it fired 2 torpedoes before it got
One
blown
at
up.
the end.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
love how he goes, why don't we fire now? He goes, because we're not at 1,000 meters yet, idiot. And we can't
Who'd
fire
you-
before."
He's like, who'd you have to get on this ship?
Right. And he's like, how did you not know that? Well, man, how do you not know that? And you're in the weapons bay.
Yeah. But yeah.
so it's like for like this isn't like a very violent movie at all, but it is intense.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it has a way of just being very intense and like keeping you on the edge of your seat as like this goes on.
And why is it in all submarine movies, there's a lot of close-ups, which I'm okay with, but everyone's always sweaty.
It is
They're
for
always
some
dripping
reason.
sweat.
They're in close quarters, huh?
There's-
It's always
yeah.
hot.
Yes. Well, you're in close quarters, but you're allowed to smoke cigars on the thing, and everyone's smoking cigarettes in the different.
Yeah, it's probably not the best right there.
So I had to look that up because I'm like, that can't be right. This came out in '95.
yeah.
It was not against Navy protocol until they banned it in 2010. So this would have
2010.
been accurate for the time.
All right.
Wow, 2010.
I was gonna say, like, because we didn't really ban smoking from bars until like I was smoking in bars. So, I was doing it. So, and, like, I can imagine, like
2000.
So you light your first cigar in the bar, Phil. Then he goes, "Do you like that one, Phil? All right, no more. Tomorrow's the deadline."
tomorrow's the deadline.
Enjoy it now.
I don't remember this guy being like a CNN reporter, but I wondered if he was like a real CNN reporter.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I don't remember.
I love how he had to say multiple times somewhere in the
Somewhere.
somewhere in the Mediterranean Ocean. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Jason Robards right there.
Yeah,
Really, really quick in the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, they like the court martial scene was like really like interesting because they were like you both acted right, and you were both wrong, and it was like both of your actions were in the best interest of like America and the Navy.
Luckily, Denzel won.
Well,
Luckily,
I just love Robart says too. He goes, thanks to you, this conversation is going to go on long after you leave this room. You know, so think about this. We stopped because of by the plot of this movie. The reason that we didn't go to nuclear war was because Denzel Washington agrees that Kirby Silver Surfer is the best.
That was one of the best lines,
and befriended the guy.
Yeah. That is a good point.
Well,
Like,
there's two references. There's that one, and then there's the Star Trek reference.
Well, that one made me laugh too. But
I think both of those references, it's uncredited, but all like the pop culture reference stuff in this movie was written by Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I imagine that Silver Surfer reference and the Star Trek reference of like, Mr. Scotty, I need warp speed.
Yeah. How about when he calls him initially, he's like, how much more time you need on that radio, and he hangs up on him?
Yeah. He's still putting it together.
Been a long time since I've seen this movie. What's it streaming on? I rented it off of YouTube.
I got it on Prime.
Yeah.
I had to rent it too.
Yeah. All right. Should we do some numbers now, Phil?
Well, so hold on.
Yeah.
We skipped the Vassar conversation before we.
Oh, yeah.
So the Vassar conversation is one of my favorites because I quote that one all the time, and he, basically comes on and he's like, because he knows the captain's trying to take back everything, and if you do this, we'll be able to get the transmission that one way or another, whether we're supposed to launch. And he's like, what does he say to him? He's like, what, he references Star Trek, but he goes, if you don't get this right, a whole lot of people are going to die. I know that's a deal, but can you handle it? I quote that all the time. I know this is a deal, but can you handle it?
And then he hangs up on him later when he's like, where's the message? He just hangs up on him like,
Yep.
It's like calling engineering and like, it's not ready yet, Captain.
Did you notice the editing mistake when they were closing the bilge bay?
No.
So Ricky Shorter's screaming, guys, get up, and then I don't want to close the door on you. And the one guy takes the thing to the face.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's Steve Zahn. But then right after that, you see Steve Zahn come up, trying to gasp for air, but he's supposed to be down under the water with blood dripping out of his face. When he's gasping for air, there's no cut on his face.
Oh.
Like right after, I'm like,
that was a powerful scene.
In the right order.
That was because he's like close that hatch. Like that was one of the things is like Gene Hackman was like, you can't make the tough decisions,
right?
And like Denzel's having to make the tough decisions of cutting those guys.
And the pressure, like if he didn't close that hatch, he would have never been able to get that closed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because the water pressure coming up would.
Well, and then they all die.
Yeah, so that was a good tension scene. All right, numbers. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you guys go first.
I'm gonna give this movie an 8.5. The acting was great. Two leads going against each other. I love the story of, like, who do you really go for? Who's really right? I thought it was directed very well. Yeah, so I'm gonna give this an 8.5.
All right. And green shirt guy?
I did enjoy this a lot. Even with the things that I brought up, I still enjoyed it. There is some great tension in the last 20 minutes where you're like, well, and here's the thing, I've seen this movie before, but it's been a while, so I'm going, I know what happens, but it's the little lead up to, and it just builds as you're going. So I really enjoyed that. I don't know if I can quite get to an 8, so I'm going to give it a 7.8. So I'm above, I'm above IMDb, but
above IMDb just a little bit. Okay. I think I'm also going to give this a 8.5. It had been a while since I watched this movie, but like the tension was just there, even knowing like the turnout, like the tension and the like on the edge of your seat kind of movie. And I definitely enjoyed it. It was two great leads going like head to head, and the story, music, the sound was all excellent. It was definitely a worthwhile pickup for me.
It gives it an 8.2, Phil. An 8.2.
8.2 is pretty good.
I should have made my hashtag Lipinzoners are black.
What you would call it when we get to it in 2 weeks is Man on Fire in 2 weeks. Is also directed by Tony Scott.
That's in 2 weeks, but next week. Training Day, episode number 140 of the Film and Box Office News.
You need to decide if you're a wolf or a sheep.
This is a great movie, but it's also messed up.
So make sure you watch Training Day and come back here next Sunday and we will discuss. Tomorrow night is New Keys and Hot Comics of the Week, episode number 143. We got some Void Rivals, some X-Men, and Batman Hush 2 coming out. We'll also give you chances to win ducks. We're giving away I almost forgot. We're giving away our giveaway tomorrow. So make sure you tune in. The subscriber giveaway is up to 41 books and a figure. And the membership giveaway is up to 25 books and 2 figures. So make sure that you tune in. And you only need 1 duck to win. You only need 1 duck to win. All right, so tomorrow night, 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific. Then on Wednesday, episode number 144 of New Comic Book Day will drop. We'll have a skit for you, some shop talk, all the new comics that we bought. It's our award-winning show, so make sure you tune into that. And then that same night, Council of Comics Live, episode number 5. 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific on Wednesday. It's just our community hangout. Come on in. We'll have the link in the chat, and you can come chat with us, and you can be on the show and chill out with the council. And then on Thursday, it's a long week for me. Fill in the Blanks, episode number 9 with Green Shirt Guy and C. Bizzle. They're closing out their Energon Universe trilogy with Yo Joe, G.I. Joe. You know I'm a big fan, so I'm all for that. And then I will also be on Cliff's channel Saturday morning for Coffee and Comics with Cliff. So make sure you tune into that. I don't have a thumbnail, so I can't show that part. All right. And yeah, that's it.
Oh, good stuff.
All right, Phil.
All right. Oh, so, yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching Film and Box Office News, episode 139.
Did we?
Oh. That's done. Thank you, Green Shirt Guy.
You're welcome.
Wait a minute. What I got here? What are we doing here? All right. Bossler, 15 seconds. 15 seconds. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and draw. Who's it going to go to, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, Ryan
Ryan,
with the double up. You got 2 now, sir. All right. You are now entered it. Now back to Phil.
All right, yeah. That's it. Film and Box Office News, episode 139. Go do your homework. Go check us out tomorrow night on New Keys and Hot Comics. We'll be drawing your ducks. We'll be racing your ducks and awarding the prize. How about that? And until next time, peace, everybody.
Peace.
It's the brightest day. Where are the heroes?